All right, guys, I got a package from Ukraine, and I know what you're thinking. I shouldn't have talked bad about Zelensky, but actually this has nothing to do with politics or any of that type of stuff. So this company reached out to me. I told them if they sent an item to me, I would share it with you guys. What they actually sent me, and you have to forgive me because the box that was in here was almost unrecognizable by the time it got all the way across the world through customs and everything else. But they sent me this bushcraft knife. This is called Beavercraft. Beavercraft is a woodworking company. They're Ukrainian. They're located in Ukraine. They make a bunch of cool stuff. You know, if you're into woodworking, they have a bunch of different woodworking tools and crafts and kits that you can buy that come with the wood that you need and the tools and the instructions, kind of the whole kit and caboodle, as they say. And the price point, this is why I ultimately was just kind of like, all right, I'll check this out. The price point on these things was rather astounding to me. For a bushcraft knife, I can't remember the exact price off the top of my head, but I will post it right in front of me on the video here. For a bushcraft knife, I thought, you know, a carbon fiber, decent bushcraft knife with a leather case was worth every penny that they were asking. And I've always tried to come up with some products that I like that don't cost you an arm and a leg. You know, I know that some people freak out when you show them a Granfors Brooks hatchet or an axe and they see the price tag on it. But when you have quality products, things that are, you know, partially handmade, I would say this one is probably, it looks like the handle was handmade. Obviously the metal blades, the full tang blades were probably machine cut. It does, you know, require a little more effort, and therefore they are a lot more expensive. But I really liked the style of this knife. I like having natural wood handles, leather cases. All of that to me screams a lot more quality than some of the plastic junk that you get at the store these days. It's from Ukraine, which is kind of cool. It's really well balanced. Yeah, you could tie that on the end of a hiking stick and have a whole spear. Something I think is pretty cool about Beavercraft is they actually do make bushcraft knives for kids, which are just, you know, probably a little smaller. They have a rounded tip, so they're a little safer for kids. So if you have a kiddo in training, Beavercraft makes bushcraft knives for kids as well. So I decided to review this knife just because I could use a bushcraft knife. Right now I'm too busy to sit around on the front porch and carve things. I'd love to be able to do that someday. I'd love to just sit around and work on projects, but the reality is that, you know, I've got a family to run and a farm to run, and a bushcraft knife is a lot more useful to me than some of those other things. It is a nice bushcraft knife for the money. It has a wood handle, a real leather case. I prefer that over plastics and all the other things that they come out with these days. There's nothing to me like real raw materials. The blade is carbon fiber. It's a pretty nice blade too. They've got it pretty sharp. The thing that bothers me, and this isn't, you know, this is not a criticism because it's kind of across all scales. When you buy a lot of knives today, a lot of them don't come so razor sharp that you can shave the hair off your arm, and that's how I like to have my tools. I mean, I just bought my wife a Granfors Brooks hatchet like this one, and it comes so sharp you could just shave the hairs right off your arm. And I think that a lot of that too has to do with the polishing of the blade itself. Once you get it down to that nice edge, finishing it off with a nice honing polish, and it doesn't look like this was honed to that extent. And that has always been a criticism of mine. If you watch this channel on just about every knife, I like pulling the knife out of the box and being able to shave with it. I couldn't do that with this one, but it does have a nice edge, and I can create the edge on there that I want. It's a nice hunk of steel, and the quality of the craftsmanship of the handle, it's all very nice. So I'm excited to share this with you guys, and excited to share the company with you guys. A lot of people have forgotten how to do some of the traditional skills of carving things and building things with their hands. And so if you know somebody who's interested in that stuff, companies like Beavercraft have great product lines and great kits that can really help somebody develop those skills, build those skills, hone in those skills, whichever level you're at. They also have some carving axes and different holsters to carry your carving axes. They have some unique leather goods in their leather goods section. So it's a pretty cool little company. It's a way of supporting Ukraine without your tax dollars. I'll post a link below. Check them out and let me know what you think. Beavercraft.